First, those aged below 25 make up over 63% of the population in 2010, and by 2050, it's still going to be over 50%. Unemployment among 15 to 24-year-olds across the continent is around twice that of those over 24, but underemployment, vulnerable employment, and working poverty are much, much more significant issues, and in general, but also for youth in particular. Second, many parts of the continent have experienced considerable levels of economic growth, but the benefits of that growth have rarely been equitably distributed, and progress on poverty and related social economic indicators have been slower than we've hoped. But third, we see a lot of innovation in Africa, including the creative use of information and communication technology, including digital financial services. So overall, while this so-called youth bulge is often portrayed as a social and political risk, we see it as a huge opportunity. It's an opportunity for more inclusive, sustainable, and innovative economic growth and social development. And this is our vision. We believe that with access to the right opportunities, young African women and men can lift themselves, their families, and their communities out of poverty. While the MasterCard Foundation works in countries across Africa, some of our most long-standing and innovative partnerships are here in Kenya. The initiative helped establish the CAP Youth Empowerment Institute in Kenya, and the foundation also partnered with Swiss Contact in Tanzania and Uganda, and Fundación Paraguaya in Tanzania. We also engaged a learning partner, the University of Minnesota, from whom you've heard yesterday, to help us learn across the three projects. Basically, the three models do exactly what the initiative's title says. As they say in the UK, it does what it says on the tin. Each supported youth to learn new technical, employability, and entrepreneurship skills that are relevant to market needs. While CAPIA does this through the BEST model, Swiss Contact organizes youth into groups and delivers training through local government officials and business people. And Fundación Paraguaya, they organize school-based business clubs. The projects support them to earn through links to job and business opportunities, including exposure visits, mentorship, placements, attachments, internships, and school-based enterprises. And it supports them to start saving through financial education and access to both informal and formal savings services. With our partners, including CAPIA, we continue to work on adapting training content and approaches to better meet the needs of youth within the informal sector and helping them access the transferable skills most useful for negotiating multiple and sometimes unpredictable, complicated livelihoods options. You remember that diagram that Chris and Maurice showed yesterday with all of those complicated pathways. We would need to have a skills system that actually helps young people find the path that is going to support them. We want our young Africans to be ready for today's jobs and tomorrow's jobs, and also to be job creators, not just job takers. The Foundation has learned a great deal through its Learn, Earn, and Save initiative, and the holistic model that it promotes has formed the core of our youth livelihood strategy. As of June 2016, the Foundation has committed $377 million to 30 youth livelihoods projects, reaching more than 832,000 young people.
The program for CAPIA, in fact, sometime around the 80s, graduate from University of Nairobi, they used to come to Kenya Polytechnic by then, which is Technical University, for 3 months for practicals. Why? It's because you have learned those theories, but do you know, I asked one engineer, I was talking about the gearbox, and he was explaining to me, I found he didn't know what was a gearbox. He did not know. That was true. Then there was someone who was recruiting. There were standard engineering. Some of you know, standard engineering in the industrial area. There is a former student of mine with a diploma, and is the one in charge in design. They wanted to employ an engineer to use the AutoCAD and so forth. Now, they called the first-class honors, 6 of them. They had one position from University of Nairobi. And then, when during the interview, he got shocked. He was not impressed. He rang me. He told me, what is wrong? What is wrong with these people? They don't know anything. What do you mean they don't know anything? They don't know what is supposed to be done. They don't understand about even design, but they have got first-class honors. Why is it? Another example I saw, general printers. They called people. There was we wanted one engineer. One. They called 5 people. And then there was one gentleman who was working there, and then he requested the general manager to also include a friend of his who had higher diploma. Said, no. Then he said, please, just so that he can see I'm also ready to help him. After all, you are not going to take him. So then he called. They called 6. After interviewing, he was the last one, as they were going to lunch. The one with higher diploma. He's called Charles Indiga. And then, when the general manager was on, he wanted just to pass, and then he asked him, do you know general printers? Yes. Do you know the kind of equipment we have? Yeah. How do you think about the maintenance there? Then he told me, this is a very small industry. Hey, then the general manager was not happy about that. Then he told the technical manager, can you take him to that machine? There was a machine which had defeated them. They had bought it. After 1 year, it could not cut. It used to cut at an angle while it's supposed to cut the books at the straight. Then he said, can you take it to him? And where is he? After lunch, you bring him, because they wanted to sit after lunch to consider the person to take. When he went there, he asked the general manager, can you give me the person who worked with this machine the last time? The first person, the operator who worked on it. Then he was saying, there he is. Then he said, that's okay, I want. When they were talking, it took 10 minutes and they solved the problem. During lunch, when he went back, the technical manager was telling him, this man has solved it. The general manager said, what are you saying? He stopped and went to see, and they found the machine was working very nicely. Now, then he said, why? Then they started interviewing. At the end, they took him. They never took any of those first-class honors. He took this higher diploma. And that's what it is. And he got what he wanted. You see, these are some of the things we need to come down to reality. And we see that we have certificate, but we don't have the competencies. And the competencies is what is required. And more so, we don't have the attitude. In East Africa, Kenya is the last country to start competency-based education and training. Kenya, we have just started in January 2016. By the end of this year, we are not going to compete with even Ghana. We have to compete with South Africa. By the end of this year, with or without money. And that's exactly what it is. Cap-year model, the 3 months, can be either be taught for those people who have finished. That includes a BS. That includes. They're going to be taught for 3 months. I mean, there's nothing wrong. They go to class, they are given that. Or if it is not yet, if they are already going on, they should be incorporated. That applies to degrees also. That applies. I only talked about certificate and diploma, but that applies to even degrees. Because the most serious problem we have, at least doctors are okay. The doctor finishes and he can do everything. But the engineers, they just say, I'm an engineer. I'm okay. But you can't do anything. And I call that you are a rumor. Because you must demonstrate like doctors demonstrate. They do it. You see also. Yeah. So we want all those people who are even degrees. They can go back. There's nothing wrong. You see, competency education, competency-based education and training does not discriminate which level. You can have your PhD and you go for a skill and you finish. So there is no, it takes all people. And I've put there for even Chuakali, they will come and they will be assessed and be given a certificate. So it's all, even those who are, I know people who have PhD and they have gone, there is no one person I know who went for skills in making cheese. And he is making millions. Yeah, and they are there, very many. And that's what it is. That's the competence. So someone will say, how can you have a PhD, you come there? No, it is you want a competency to deliver something. And you get money. You see, China now has changed. China, if you are not in this, Tibet, they don't want to know you. In Singapore, is the one which has done a lot of a lot of work in TVET. Every item, you pick this bottle, you find this is a TVET product. Where you are sitting, you find this written TVET product. Everywhere. You pass through airport, everything, TVET product. Then I asked one time we were there, then which one is for degree? I didn't see it. And that's why the question I brought to you, where, I asked that question. Can you point out one item only? One only. Akuna. So, what is it? This is, let me tell you about this implementation. It's for you, for everyone. We must, all of us, go to it. And it is now.